Okay, well here we are again, same radio, same setup, different day. This is now altered, so it's the same setup with two changes. The carrier pot was a 2K pot, and we changed the carrier pot to a 5K pot. And we also had to change, we couldn't modulate a 5 kilo or a 5K pot set at a 5 watt carrier. We ran out of audio, so I had to change the value of the final audio pot, which was 50K, and we changed it to it's 100K now. So now we should have enough audio to drive things. So we're going to go ahead and key this thing up again, and we're going to key it up this time at 5 watt carrier. Alright, there's a 5 watt carrier, and if we look at the 20 watt scale on the dosimeter, it's right at 5 watts. And then we're going to go ahead and short this to ground so it stays keyed up. Alright, now we're going to look at the 20 watts or the 200 watt scale here, and we're going to put some audio on this puppy, and that scope is sitting at the 2-box reference. And now we're going to increase this, and we're going to increase it to the point where we get to 100% negative peaks, which is right a little higher than that, right there. Okay, so that's showing 50 watts on the Dosi. Of course, it's pegging the meter on the input, the 20 watt scale. And we've got the asymmetry set before flat top. Of course, I can go higher with the asymmetry and it starts flat topping, but we don't want that. We can turn the asymmetry down to where our same 5 watt carrier is modulated at 100% right there, and then we can increase it. And there's 150 right there. There's 200, 250, 255, 260% positive peaks. Not that you'd ever want to talk there, but that's showing that it can do it. And depending on some amplifier configurations, due to compression and some other techniques that some people either employ willingly or unwillingly, it's nice to have that headroom. But the question comes to mind, that's a Dosi test center, and I don't know how much faith I have in this thing. So I have a bird with a 100 watt slug in it, and a peak kit, and it's pretty accurate. So I'm going to switch this over here while we're on the camera so we can see that I'm actually putting the bird meter in line. And see, does it matter which one is the input or output? I guess it does. Just kidding. Anyway, we all know it's interchangeable. See, the bird has coax on both sides, so it doesn't make any. You can turn this wherever you want, so it doesn't matter. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, we're going to put the bird meter in line, and we're going to see if I can keep the scope and the meter in the view at the same time. I hope this works. Alright, we're going to start with the meter in RMS mode. Just eliminate the peak kit entirely. And take a look at this thing and see if a 5 watt carrier looks like a 5 watt carrier on the 100 watt scale. So, obviously there's 10 right there, so 5 watts ought to be right about, well, that's not a 5 watt carrier, it's modulated, sorry about that. Turn the modulation off. 5 watts ought to be right down, that says 4 watts. Okay, so the Dosi said 5, the bird says 4. Could there be that much discrepancy between the two? Now we're going to go ahead and look at the peak power on that 100 watt slug with the audio applied. And that is max right about there. And that's showing 60 watt peaks, which is about right. That's more believable. So the Dosi was lying to me, I think. And now we're going to go ahead and go down to 100% modulation. So we're going to turn the asymmetry pot down. We're going to leave the audio, final audio, turned up. See, if I turn the final audio down, it will undermodulate the carrier. So we want to keep the carrier modulated to 100% negative, but we want to turn the positive peaks down. So there's the positive peaks down, and there's our 100% right there. 100%, we need fully modulated though. Anyway, there you go. Right about there. So it looks like it really is making some serious power. That's a 100-watt slug, and it's sitting right at 60 watts PEP out of a single. Oh, why is it fluctuating? It's got a, oops, bad wire. I got to turn the asymmetry down. Oh, final audio comes down, asymmetry back up. There you go. I don't know what's fluctuating there. There you go. Anyway, pretty impressive out of a single 2382 MOSFET. And wow. And let's take a look back at our dead carrier again. So dead carrier right at what it says is 4 watts. So anyway, Bird says 4 swinging 60. Dosey says 5 swinging 52 or something like that. And either way you slice it, that's some serious power being. Oh, and the MOSFET's now starting to get warm. So the way I was driving it yesterday, the MOSFET didn't get horribly warm. The way I'm driving it today, it's getting quite warm. Not detrimentally warm, considering how long I've been keyed up, but warm nonetheless. I think the way most people would run this into most radios would be somewhere down about a 1-watt drive. And with 1-watt drive, this thing has oodles and oodles and oodles of envelope growth. So, geez, anywhere from 0 to 4 watts, let's say, is doable on a dead carrier. And peak anywhere between 50 and 60 is safe to assume. Anyway, there you go. That was the question I had from yesterday, and there's the answer to it right there. Motormouth Mall, Steppin'.